paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderous scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
No, we're not doing that. You're getting called a slur. I don't know which one, whichever one I feel like saying at the moment. You're getting called a slur.
So much death. What can men do against such reckless hate?
Ride out with me. Ride out and meet them.
For death and glory.
For Rohan. For your people.
The sun is rising.
Join the savage tribe. New takes weekly, unfiltered and raw. Isaac's voice, the memer's law.
Well, alrighty, everybody.
All right.
Welcome back to another episode of the Golden Age podcast. As I pull everybody up on stream, we're highly professional, as always. So, it is with reverence we are here in light after this week. Charlie Kirk, he is greatly missed by all of us. And I'm going to check in with you guys. Cornboy, our esteemed co-host. How are you doing, man? Thank you for being here.
Well, yeah, it's been a rough week. I've seen a lot of people do their tributes, and I agree with all of the sentiment that he was doing good work out there, and we're gonna miss him a lot. So I just hope that we can carry on the torch that he raised up.
I fully agree. It's up to us. It's not a man. It's one man. It's a movement, and we have to carry on. The light that he carried, and continuing that light. Lex, how are you doing? Thank you for being here again. It's a tough subject, but we're gonna talk through it. So how you doing?
Indeed, it's been an odd week, just from the coldest, most calculating of perspectives. It still just seems like a box has been a setting has been changed, a box has been ticked. The world is not the same as it was even a week ago, and it's a mix of, it is both a worse and better place, because his death has triggered a wake-up call that the likes of which I have not seen before in my lifetime. And I'm hopeful that it leads to good places. I have lots of concerns, but I'm sure we'll get into, and that I'm sure many of you share. But this is such a fascinating time to be alive, but it has to start, and can only authentically start honoring the man that he was in the way that he would, which is putting first his faith, his family, and the freedom that he stood for.
Absolutely. Continue forth the values that he cherished most. And I wanted to get to Goodwin. Thank you for joining us. Kind of last minute, but I wanted to get your perspective on these things. How are you doing, man? Thank you for being here.
I'm doing pretty good. I have seen things like this before, and unfortunately, there's a lot of emotion for a certain amount of time, and everybody talks about what they're going to do, and then in most cases, they just kind of reset to normal with a little more, concern about what's going on. Charlie Hebdo is the one that the most obviously hits with me. Was "We are all Charlie," which that was the phrase that was going on at that time, when you had Muslims show up in a independent magazine that dared to have pictures of Muhammad.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
they
so
were
scary.
all killed in France. Yeah. And everybody, oh my gosh, this is all about free speech, and we need to stand firm. And there were many vigils and much concern. About a month later, nobody cared anymore. So I'm interested to see if this sustains. People are now willing to take on the burden of doing a long march. This isn't we'll just victory in a week because we canceled some morons that decided to show the red ass on social media, and instead are willing to carry it through all the way to the end.
Very well said. Yeah, and what you brought up is very stunning. It just blows my mind what you said, the whole image of Muhammad thing. That's an argument for another day.
And that's why it saddens me how New York City could be on the verge of having a Muslim mayor.
Yes.
How they forgot in 25 years what happened to them.
That's what we have to absolutely remember is, as we say, never forget. But Hayden, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you very much. How are you doing on this evening in light of everything?
I'm still upset.
Yep.
I've still got that rage. And, just to kind of bounce a little bit off of what Lex and Goodwin both just said, this is, I actually think this is the first political assassination that we have seen in the United States since 1968, where Martin Luther King was killed, and then just a couple months later, John F. Kennedy was killed.
Yep.
Fully political, because that's what this was. This was trying to silence. Right. We've seen the things, I'm sure, that Destiny has said, how
which we will be pulling up. We have that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's disgusting.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, I think this might be it. Like, I'm hearing lots of people talk about how they're tired of the communists and the Marxists. Now, I have heard a lot of very lukewarm takes that people have had where they're like, no, all we do is we just call it out. And it's like, yes, that's part of it. Not being afraid to speak is part of it. But there is still so much more that also needs to happen. And me being a small government guy, I hate to admit it, but we need the help of the federal government, but it's only in the sense to right the things that they have wronged over the past several years.
I think you make a good argument there, Hayden. It's not so much big government, small government. Right now, it's so much who's in control of that government.
Yes.
You know, and we have had commie sympathizing people at the helm for a very long time, and I think in light of all of this, this has radicalized many people to push hard the opposite direction. We're going to go for a McCarthy route, it would appear, and that's a good thing. We're going to be cracking down on communism in this country. I wanted to show this very quickly. Cornboy, you sent me this. Benny Johnson just posted this. It is chilling. It's very reminiscent to after the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting. And people are already doing AI tributes, Charlie, and I did just want to show this. So it's this is something that's going to resonate in America forever.
Absolutely.
If you thought
the face of that wife
that
is something that's never
mission
going to leave our minds ever.
Was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
And this little AI like style, this really encapsulates the way that it felt.
It does. I'm seeing more American flags. People are buying Bibles, going to church. It's we've had
wait, pause it real quick, because that's actually on my regular like work route where I'm driving at. There was this house that for years that I've been out here, they had one of those flags that it was like divided in half diagonally from top to bottom, and it was an American flag and a Mexican flag.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And over the course of these past like several years, it had become really torn and frayed and just messed up. And this morning, when I drove by that house, they had a kind of standard sized American flag, then one of those like comically large Mexican flags.
Oh yeah.
Brand new, but they had the American flag flying higher than the Mexican flag. And whenever I saw that, I was like, that's what I don't care about the size of your flag, but now you've taken away that abomination that was two nations split into one. Right. That was ripped and ragged. You got rid of that, and you got the individual flags, and you were flying the American flag higher than the Mexican flag. That
as it should be in this country, as it should be. You should always put the American flag.
That was also the house, the only house that I ever saw Kamala signs outside of. But this being that moment, but this being that moment, to see them actually go out and replace that tattered flag, separate the two of them, and fly the American flag higher, I was like, okay, they're American. They have just proven that to me with that little gesture.
This is very reminiscent of post 9/11 patriotism, but as Goodwin had mentioned, hopefully this sticks. There has to be longevity to this, and I am thankful that we have guys like this in office right now who are talking about the necessary issues, the left-wing violence, and how we need to crack down and investigate this stuff. And people don't realize, too, it says here it's very honorable today that J.D. Vance hosted the first show since Charlie's passing, but also under the title of longtime friend of Charlie Kirk. Charlie did help launch J.D. Vance's political career years ago. He was very influential in that. And did any of you guys manage to watch? I was not able to see the whole thing. I've only seen clips, but did you guys manage to catch this live, JD?
I didn't catch it live. I watched it about an hour afterward. It was a 2-hour show. I fast forwarded through the bits that were Charlie debating. And then
same. I'd already seen them.
Yeah, because I'd already seen all the debate clips. But yeah, then I went and I did watch the entire show. And that last 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal.
If anything, watch the last 15 minutes. Yep.
Well, we're going to check out this clip, and we will get live reactions to that. If anyone has comments, just let me know, and I can pause it. But let's hear what the vice president had to say today on Charlie Kirk's show. You know, that unfortunately he will no longer be hosting. But here's J.D. Vance.
There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these.
Just to give a little bit of context about what he's saying here, just before this, he talked about how he had been walking through the streets and had old women screaming at his 5-year-old child, denounce your
Disneyland
parents.
of all places.
Disgusting.
Like that.
And then the other one was one of Charlie Kirk's friends, who I believe is a senator. He had, the day after Charlie Kirk died, there were some radical leftists that were handing out flyers of his name and address saying that he was a friend of Charlie Kirk at his house where he and his children lived. That's what that was about when he said after a friend died. Yeah, like actually doxing the guy and maybe not calling for direct violence, but it's a very strange thing to be handing out flyers with his face, name, and address on.
Very much so.
No, that's calling for violence. We can't pretend it's anything else anymore.
Oh no, it definitely is. But the only thing is, legally, they might have a scapegoat there. That's the only reason I say that.
Well, that's one of the reasons that the some of the calls for we need to have laws and all that. Okay, fine. More importantly, you need to have a society that once again believes in shaming people when they do shameful shit.
Absolutely right. Yes, shame and honor need to come back to our society, and that's why we're going to be putting a highlight on and addressing this left-wing calls for violence and just disgusting reactions in light of Charlie's assassination. So let's finish what the vice president has to say. Then we're going to be showing some of those spotlights. We have the receipts of a lot of that left-wing rhetoric that they've been saying for years now. But let's hear J.D. Vance, what he had to finish saying here.
Articles who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck because he spoke words with which they disagree. Did you know that the George Soros Open Society Foundation and the Ford Foundation, the groups who funded that disgusting article justifying Charlie's death, do you know they benefit from generous tax treatment? They are literally subsidized by you and me, the American taxpayer. And how do they reward us? By setting fire to the house built by the American family over 250 years. I am desperate for our country to be united in condemnation of the actions and the ideas that killed my friend. I want it so badly that I will tell you a difficult truth. We can only have it with people who acknowledge that political violence is unacceptable, and when we work to dismantle the institutions that promote violence and terrorism in our own country.
I particularly like the part where he says, when we work to dismantle the institutions that promote violence within our country. That's essential. These NGOs, these dark money operations that are being funded by our taxpayer dollars.
We'll have to ban the Democrat Party then. I mean,
pretty much.
Let's get real here.
Hey, there might be like 15 to 20 of them left.
It could be.
Come on.
There could be. Few and far between nowadays. You know, we have guys like Destiny. I'm going to show this here. This is from Destiny in light of Charlie's passing. Destiny said the quiet part out loud.
As he always does. Thank God he's stupid.
He's genuinely, his stupidity is actually quite helpful. It is. So let's hear what Destiny had to say. Then this just capitalizes on what we were just saying. Why do they keep putting the volume back down every time? Okay.
Wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office.
Pausing that there. Did you hear what he said?
Look,
Did you
watch
hear
the
what?
faces of everyone as he says
But
that.
it will never come down. If you wanted
Listen.
Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
Oh,
Every
really?
time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down.
How insane is he? How insane is he?
He's completely lost it. I think he should be locked up in a mental institution
He
involuntarily.
should be. He should be.
No, I honestly, I think it has to be a tactic. He has to be strategically picking the worst things to say, and because there's no world in which that's a reasonable response. No world, not one.
Lex,
That has to be on purpose. He has to be just looking for the most ridiculous things to say, because the
He's planting
alternative
the seed.
is there
He's planting the
someone
seed in their
that
mind.
insane.
I hate to tell you this,
Terrifies
brother.
me even
I
more.
appreciate you giving people the benefit of the doubt, but
He
you're
wants
wrong.
us dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is one of the things, because I think I mentioned this to Isaac and was like, they always were this way. You just
Yes.
weren't listening, or you tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. We're arguing this topic. The rule of the left is always the topic is never the topic. The goal is the revolution.
Yes.
And it's why they'll switch positions at a moment's notice, because the positions are irrelevant. The revolution is what matters.
And they're very much people that believe the ends justify the means as well. Remember that as well.
Right, because it's always the revolution.
Yes.
So I've been saying for 10 years that they wanted us dead, but even I often gave benefit of the doubt whenever they would say things. But that's why this has been so vindicating to me, to now see so many other people that see it the same way I do. Whenever somebody says something like that, they are not being hyperbolic. They legitimately want us all dead so they don't have to face any opposition. That's why he says things like that and tries to call for that sort of thing. Because, like Isaac said, he's planting the seed, and he knows that that's all he has to do is say, well, then Donald Trump shouldn't have been president. So you bitches should have been afraid to go vote for him.
Yep.
That's exactly what he's trying to say.
yourself.
Yeah.
He said if you want Charlie to be alive, Trump shouldn't have been president a second time. Destiny is scum. And just want to say, Nick, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you could stop by.
What's up, gentlemen? Yeah, no. Glad I could finally make it. It's been a busy day, but I knew what you were talking about, so I wanted to chime in just a little bit here before we talk about a movie.
The topic of left-wing radical mob violence and incitement for violence against people who disagree with them. It's big issue, man. And as we're trying to say, we have to stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Goodwin was just saying the end goal, it's always the revolution. It's not these minor little tic-tac-toe things. They have a greater plan in mind.
It's
and
the
they're willing to do
Marxist
whatever.
strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric July was live. He may still be live, but he was live a little bit earlier. One of the things that he was talking about was the number of people who are waking up to how truly abhorrent and disgusting just the minds of some people are out there. And it hits me especially hard this past week personally, where it's like, I feel like one of the people he's talking about, who's like waking up for the first time. And even now, as we just saw, and as we just said, I still am clamoring for some excuse, some benefit of the doubt, this is abhorrent. Surely no one's like this.
Because you have a functioning heart and you have compassion
Yeah.
and you desire to find common ground, and we want to build bridges and have people come to our side, see the light, but we have to realize we're dealing with demons as well.
And not to make a direct comparison, but Lex, I think the way that you're feeling is very similar to the ways that some of these people who were on the left and were in the cult, whenever they started to realize that it wasn't what they thought, and they were in this sense of denial of still trying to be a little bit protective, but for you, it's more of protective of society because you think it's better than it is. When in reality, we've fallen much further than you had seen before, and now you're seeing it and still trying to rationalize it, which is a perfectly normal response to something, but it's just it's not there anymore.
I live pretending that I'm still in a time of Christendom, but the age has passed. I do not live in Christendom. I live in a
Hell is
time
empty,
of Moloch
and the
worship.
demons are here.
Well, I think more importantly, it's a failure of empathy. The people tend to think empathy is like sympathy, that I can feel the same way. That's not what it is. Empathy is understanding how someone else thinks and what they feel, and their mindset, their view of the world. And too many people think that everybody else thinks the way that they do.
Yeah,
and you're wrong. Look at what they say, and more importantly, look at what they do, and then try to explain it rationally. Right? That okay, well, how given these things, what would be the rational motivations for them? What are their priorities? Right? And you will come to some conclusions that are very uncomfortable, but they're telling you who they are. Believe them.
Yep.
And that's what I'm hoping with this, with all the reporting, firings, all the people speaking out about their vile thoughts. I'm hoping this is a big wake up call to normal people, to people who didn't think that the culture was sliding this badly, to people who thought everything was okay. It's not okay. Certain people want to destroy this country, and they have to realize that.
I've seen a number of discussions about this is just cancel culture on the other side, and actually brought up by the right. No, it is. It absolutely is. Let us use plain language. You're damned right we're canceling them, because what happened is that they decided that this was a legit tactic that they could use against anybody they disagree with. Now, once the rules of engagement are set, you don't just sit on the sideline and go, well, my principles, right? If somebody hits you in the face, you hit them back, right? That's how you solve that stuff. The initiation is the real problem, right? You don't initiate violence, but the proper response to violence is the rational application of an overwhelming amount of violence.
Right. And
so when somebody decides that they're going to do cancel culture, then what you do is go, all right, I'm going to wait and get the when it's the right time, when it's appropriate. Yeah, we're going to play the other game. We're going to make you play by the rules that you set, and see if you still want to play by those rules, or if you want to step back into a civil society.
The reason I say no, I don't disagree. They set the rules up. Yes. In practice, it is cancel culture, but the reasoning behind it is different. We're not canceling them for having different political views. It's incitement of violence, and it's
time for us to rewrite the rules.
Well, it's not. I mean, there are plenty of them that aren't inciting violence, but they are celebrating the result of it.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, they're also, whenever they celebrate it, what it does is it drives it up to the top. And so if you have people in your workplace or at workplaces that you frequent, then you legitimately feel like, oh, they could be, fomenting another angry mob or another, crazy person to do something else. I don't want to be around that. And you let their employers know that, and then they are no longer employed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but again, let's not fool ourselves. We're canceling them. I'm good with it.
I
choose this tactic because these were the tactics they chose, and the reason that they got away with it for so long is that they were rewarded for their behavior. They got the results they wanted.
Yeah, they don't like it when it's
to make that painful now. So they don't like it. I need to stop touching that.
They don't like it when it's happening to them, right? Like
they never do.
Whenever it applies to them, when they're shielded from things, it's okay because they don't have to feel the effect. They don't have to feel the blowback. But now they're feeling this blowback. Maybe I'll say tenfold now, and I hope they experience it 10 times as worse. Whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like, they definitely need a taste of their own medicine. And I know it's not quite right to say an eye for an eye, but I think it is time for an eye for an eye. Like for me and Isaac, I've talked with you about this like in DMs, but given my religious background and the way I've felt about all this, And it is one thing to wish for certain things to happen, and as I've even stated, I think, public execution and the death penalty needs to happen here. I understand some people say, well, that's not the Christian way, right? And it's like, but however, we're meant to govern ourselves and live by the laws that we've created here. Whatever happens to this person in the afterlife ain't for us. But what we can do is decide for what we give him here on earth, and I think he deserves it.
The Christian way is justice, and as Pastor Joel
Yes.
Webben said on X, he said, "What would I do?" He said the question was presented, "What would I do if this murderer, this assassin, repented and came to Christ?" He said, "I would welcome him as a brother in Christ, bring him rope and bring him water, baptize him, welcome him as a brother in Christ, and then execute him for his crimes." You don't have. I mean, the thief on the cross, Jesus didn't take him down from the cross. He had to pay his punishment. He had to pay his punishment, but also redemption in the eternal, that's out of our hands. That's in God's hands.
Well, I
What
think
we
Julie,
can-
just
Exactly.
yeah, sorry to cut you off. I'll say too, for people that get life in prison without parole, right? Like they're going to die in prison. Some of these people find Jesus, have asked, forgiveness for their sins and whatnot, but they realize that they're going to die in there, and they've accepted that. But that's it. They just can continue to live out their days, and so they might be at peace with what happens to them in the afterlife, but they're still going to die for what they did here on earth. So again, that they're still facing justice, from
Exactly
the,
right.
the laws of man. I think people don't understand that in terms of the left, right? Like they
Yes.
want this guy to be free. They want the easiest way out, which
speedier
sorry,
trials and faster executions.
That we
yeah.
do.
Yeah,
'Cause look at-
enough
we ha-
paying for taxes for these murderers to continue to live and get a shelter over their heads.
You know where I would actually settle with that? I say once somebody is convicted beyond reasonable doubt, I'm not a big fan of the government putting people to death, but if it's a situation like this where it's on video, he's admitted to doing
It's
it.
undeniable. Yeah.
Like
100%.
At that point, we lock him in prison for 6 weeks so that he gets to experience what prison is like and have a moment to find redemption. And then at the 6-week mark, we publicly execute him.
Put him in the black
He might not
sector,
last
too,
that
for a
long,
while.
though.
Yeah.
No,
Put him
exactly.
in the-
That's the point.
like, I mean, it's crazy, but like, I don't know how this has affected people in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I haven't seen that, but I'm sure people. There's probably at least a few people in there that might find it fucked up. Sorry about my French.
We've been unfiltered since.
Okay, sorry. I was like,
Yeah.
oh crap, that's right. But
No, it's we're
Isaac
over the
only
hill
invites
at
me
this
on when
point.
we're unfiltered.
But please don't bring up the French again.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't read the French. But no, I agree. I agree though, Hayden.
I noticed Jake Martin in the chat said the left conflates forgiveness with the absence of accountability.
Yes.
So the left doesn't. The left equates forgiveness with submission and an embarrassing lack of dissent, but it also never allows redemption.
No, they believe
They're looking for any weakness.
Yeah, they believe. They don't believe in redemption whatsoever, at all. You are lost. You're dead to them. They will cut you out of their family immediately if they find out you vote for Trump or if you do something they don't like. They don't believe in redemption.
Yeah, I mean, the best you can do is that if you submit and agree to everything they do, you'll always have the mark of a heretic on you, but they might tolerate you.
They are absolute cultist authoritarians. And I just want to show this clip, 20-second clip. This was at a Charlie Kirk vigil. And these are the people we're dealing with. These are the people. So on the left, we have someone honoring Charlie Kirk. And on the right, with this stupid-ass guitar, we have a evil person here. Look at this. The guy saying, "We'll pray for your salvation."
I don't want your salvations. Why? I want you to fucking die. We're not gonna give you a second chance, even when you beg for it on your knees, begging and pleading.
That's what we're up against, people. Okay, if that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is. They're telling you plain as day. They want us dead.
When someone says they hate
as
you,
day.
believe them.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we should bring back mental institutions, asylums.
Yes,
all
that
this,
one,
and people
yes.
people that do these sorts of things should be flagged immediately and doctored. They need to
Yes.
be psychoanalyzed and whatever, drugged up, straitjacket, whatever you want to throw at
Basically,
them.
at least
But-
protect society from them at the very least.
and that's the the exact point. Like, you want to protect society. Well, if you take these sorts of people off the streets that are going to inflict violence and political violence especially, then you take it off the table. You don't allow it to be present. You remove it, and asylums could be used for that. Guess what? It'll bring back jobs. It'll help people get employed. Whether you're working in security, whether you're a doctor, a nurse, a secretary, and this could be nationwide, right? You start popping up asylums, mental institutions again. I mean, look at
Texas
that.
is going to need about 8 or 9 of them.
Well, California's
very
going to need about
large.
like 1,000, but
New York is going to need about 1,800. Yeah. No, it's bad. And like we said, when they tell you they want you dead, believe them. This guy qualifies. Playing the guitar on
Absolutely.
the sidewalk, saying, "I want to effing bleed you out and watch you die on your knees."
How about we just build a wall around California and deport them all there?
Very true.
No, send
Very
them
true.
someplace
No.
unpleasant. I would like to reclaim the geography
No,
of
I
California
refuse.
myself.
California
is
is too pretty. People
Yeah.
thought it was paradise when they first found it. We may not leave it to them.
Yeah,
I would
the worst thing about California is the unfortunate infestation of Californians.
Yes.
Actually,
I'd like to just address
that's
what Ronan.
The problem with Scotland is it's full of Scots.
Real quick, I just want to say, Lex, I want to correct your language there. It's
Oh.
not that we may not leave it to them. We shall not.
Yeah,
very true. What Ronan said here in the chat, he says, "I know it's not very Christian, but I'm tired of trying to reason with these freaks." I would disagree. Jesus said, "Do not cast your pearls before swine. They will gobble them up and destroy them. Kick the sand off your feet when people will not hear you." We can try. You can evangelize. You can do the best you can. And if they will not receive you, you leave.
And you shake the dust from your sandals when you go. Your job, as many great saints have said, your job is to inform, not to convince.
Yeah,
The
that's
matter
not our
of
job.
convincing, that's the Holy Spirit. Everything else,
Absolutely.
not your job. Tell
You know who
people the
could-
truth and then move on if you're not received.
I
That
follow
is-
one of the great Eastern philosophers who said, "Don't start nothing, won't be nothing."
That's very true as well.
I like that. Yeah. No, it's you know who could use convincing of the Holy Spirit? I said on Twitter earlier, this guy's a bitch, and I agree. It's
That doesn't narrow
well,
it
I agree
down.
with myself. Isn't that very
Oh.
funny how that works out? Hassan Piker.
Oh God.
A lot of clips have been coming back up, and why is this piece of
I
shit
don't
not in
understand
jail?
how this. Yeah, he should be in jail.
This is my most hated person
Housing
on
in
the
Berkeley?
internet.
I don't know how that works. My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill
As a
them.
result.
Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
What
This is
the
why.
hell is he still doing on Twitch, let alone in
Just say,
free
like,
society?
Do any of you follow Metatron?
Who?
Yeah,
Metatron.
Occasionally.
No.
He's been going on a tirade about this guy.
Yeah, Metatron is exposing evil right now.
He's been he's a guy he loves to do like big history lessons. He's Italian. He loves history. He's
Loves Rome.
passionate, especially about like ancient history, Roman history. Of course, he's
Nice.
Italian, but
Well, he's
but
a man.
In the last,
So I should like him then because he's an
but the
Italian.
last
Okay, cool.
week, he has been on a like blazing trail of just like expose all these people who are doing this type of stuff and who still have platforms. And he's so right, because if anybody like, and to use Metatron's own example, if a tragedy like this had happened to a prominent leftist political figure, every single person, not that there would be many, to be honest, but every single person who is publicly celebrating that death and calling for more would be banned from every social platform immediately. Nonetheless, Hassan Piker, I've heard his name before, but until this last week, I literally never even seen his
No,
face.
he's
The only
Cenk
thing
Uyghur's
I've
nephew.
seen is this stuff, like this, and he's
Well,
still
this is
there.
what he posted,
How?
Lex. And he quote posted Senator Tom Cotton with the diagram for the weapon that was used to assassinate Shinzo Abe of Japan.
Yep.
So no words, but basically, Hamas.
It's an
don't block
implied
highways.
threat. An implied
Yeah.
threats are legally.
He's showing how to
actionable.
make a manufactured firearm, and in response to this politician that he hates. How can he be making threats against politicians openly, and not only be on Twitch and social media? How is he not imprisoned over this stuff? I do not get this. This is just
He's still platformed, monetized. He's making money
yes.
off of the hate.
Yes. And people are tuning in left and right.
Yep.
That's the disturbing. He has a very large audience that are gobbling this up and loving it.
Yeah,
And
A lot of
the
his
scarier
audience
part.
does appear to be bots, though, too, which is very
Yeah,
entertaining.
more than likely, yes.
Not way overstated.
More
I
than
mean,
likely.
A double standard.
Regardless of how many people are watching him, it's still, it's still scary the fact that people tune in to watch him and believe him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the worst part of it all.
I was at a convention one time because you guys know I go to cons and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
I was at a convention one time and I got to talking to some, I say kid, he was probably like 6-7 years younger than me, just because at conventions there's a bunch of tables and stuff, and you end up just finding an open seat to sit down and like rest your legs. Get to talking to this kid, and we're kind of bouncing around a couple different topics, and he's like, "Oh, you're on the internet," and I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of do some things here and there, or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, have you heard of Hassan Piker?" And I was like, "Why, yes, I have." And he goes, "Oh, dude, he's great. Do you watch him ever? Like, he's so awesome." And I was like, "That's actually my most hated person that exists on the internet." And he goes, "What? Why would you not like him?" So I started to explain things to him over the course of about the 10 minutes we were sitting there, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna look into some of that stuff you were talking about, because like that's not what Hassan said, but like you seem like a cool guy. Like I'll do some looking. I'll do some look." I was like, "Okay, that's all I can ask you to do, man."
Good. That's the least you could hope for, because what Elon Musk posted here was very much what a lot of people are getting brainwashed with in the classroom, on the TV, on the the rock star on the stage, whatever. They're all Nazis. They're all Nazis. They're all Nazis.
In the
and
movies.
then you get, after years of that, that's the result. That's the result. They get action. That's what they've been doing. They've been demonizing people for the sake of you can do things to non-humans that you couldn't do to humans otherwise.
When you're called a Nazi, when you're called a fascist, a transphobe, a bigot, a homophobe, whenever they try to label you with one of those, that is because they are putting the sign up saying that it is okay to kill this one. That's
Absolutely
all any
right,
of this is.
Absolutely right, and it's that simple. Once they other you and they dehumanize you,
they're pinging you on a PvP server.
That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are.
And
and I want
flagging you on a PvP server.
Yeah. Did you guys hear? We're familiar with Bethesda and their bullshit. That wonderful, wonderful game company that they are.
I found out about that like not too long ago today because I've been swamped.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gary posted this. Bethesda thought it would be a good idea to let us know how they feel about Charlie Kirk and anyone mourning him. So this was a clip that was very quickly deleted.
Yeah, Gary got the video.
He got the clip, so we're going to listen to the audio. This is from the Indiana Jones game that recently came out, like within the year.
Just to be clear, to set this up, this is what they posted yesterday after everybody had been going after the Bethesda employee that was glorifying Charlie Kirk's death. And Bethesda, nor Microsoft, nor Xbox has responded at all. This was
Whatsoever.
The first thing we see.
They had like you said, an employee glorifying the death, and this is what they posted. This random clip.
Sorry, may I ask a question? So this is I saw this clip today for the first time.
Same.
Is this not? This is from a game that's already come out. It wasn't from a game that was
This is from the Indiana Jones game based in World War II. Yeah.
Oh, that's so much worse.
Specifically placed in Italy, where you are actually fighting fascists as Indiana Jones.
Yes,
Let's show
that's
the
fine.
people.
But I thought this was for a game that hadn't come out yet. I thought it was an ad for something upcoming. No, this is a clip from a game they've already put out,
From
and
a
they
past
chose
game.
they chose to make this post now.
This is not advertising for a game coming out. This is a past game that's
Yes,
already
this
out.
is not
Let's
a
show the clip.
coincidence.
Oh,
Let's show
that's
the
so
clip.
telling.
Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you?
That's all. 9-second clip. Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you? For a game that's been out for quite a while now, and this is after the controversy about their employee celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. So,
Wow,
And it
more
was
of me
up
assuming
for
the best in
what?
people.
Wasn't it only up for a couple of hours?
I think less. I think much less than that, actually. Very
Did they take it
quickly
down?
deleted. They deleted
yeah,
it
it's done.
very
They
almost
deleted it.
immediately. And people screen capped it and recorded it almost immediately. And it has sparked outrage. Almost every account I follow has been saying and never giving Bethesda, another penny again, ever.
I got
ever.
to screenshot it today because Twitter broke on my phone and it was giving me the can't retrieve updates. And I was like, fuck it. You know, it's early in the morning. I'll just scroll through. And I got to see that post and I was like, oh, I'm grabbing that one. So I just got a screenshot of it. And then, you know, a little while later, everybody was posting the videos. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Just in light of all that controversy, that talk about posting that, I want, you can say, oh, it was an intern, it was something, but
You don't care about these fascists with the text saying "good kitty."
Yep.
Again, what I mentioned earlier about Eric July, it's hit me so hard this week. I feel ignorant. I made a post this week about it feels like the scales have fallen from my eyes, and yet it feels like every day the scales are falling from my eyes even more. I have never realized how many people are just totally incompatible with the world that is acceptable. I've never realized how many people want me dead. I've never realized how disgusting.
We're surrounded in this country. People.
I've taken it for granted for so long.
Let me break
and
some
every
hard
single
news to
day
you real
it
quick.
hits me.
Let me break some news to you real quick, brother. You're going to feel that feeling every single day for at least the next 6 months. Because that's how long it takes for you to actually realize how many people in this country would be perfectly fine with you being killed if they know who you are. It is a lot. Like an unbelievable amount.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you obviously don't live in a constitutional carry state, I really do hope people have their
Texas are
civvy well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
every single day. And do it every single day too. Don't make exceptions.
On the bright side, the Attorney General of Florida just ruled in a recent case that constitutional carry is allowed in Florida now.
Well,
yeah,
that's
they
good. We need
passed it
nationwide
back
is
in.
what we need.
I think it was last July? I know it was recent that it went through, but yeah, no.
We still have a law against it on the books, but there was a court case in which they said that law is unconstitutional.
Everyone needs to be able to protect themselves because there are people in this country that want us dead, and there's companies in this country like Discord that are covering up this assassin's messages, and the cover up here, reported by Benny Johnson, Discord has initially claimed Charlie Kirk's assassin never used the platform to plan or promote violence. But Judd Hoffman, Discord's VP of Trust and Safety, said they found no evidence that the suspect planned This morning, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino confirmed there was a Discord chat with 20-plus members, and new reporting just out reveals that Tyler Robinson, the assassin, sent a final message to the group admitting his guilt and stating he was turning himself in. The information came directly from Discord and was shared with law enforcement. The public demands accountability and transparency. Discord must be fully investigated for covering up. and potentially attempting to destroy evidence in criminal investigation. Discord must release every name in the chat immediately. I fully agree, because that is just that reeks of suspicion right there.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. With that, read Discord's statement very carefully, because they specifically said they found no evidence that he planned anything on Discord.
No evidence that he planned or promoted
say
violence.
He didn't confirm that he did it. So that's kind of their slimy, weaselly way to try to be like, well, no, he didn't plan anything.
Yeah.
The only reason that they found out that those messages existed is because they are currently speaking and who is cooperating with the transgender roommate and possible partner of the shooter. So they had access to all of those messages. Just imagine how much of that stuff is being scrubbed right now, though.
Yeah.
Yep, just like you were mentioning. Assassin lived with transgender partner, who is probably a furry, too, it would seem.
No, is probably knew what was happening and is only cooperating with the FBI because that's the only way that they are not going to be held as an accomplice, get the same charge, and they will get a maybe parole is what they have offered them, maybe like 5-10 years parole, something like that.
Nothing super severe. Right.
Because you knew about it, you didn't say anything, but if you rat and you tell us everything that you know, all right, we're just going to have you completely supervised for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too, because it's definitely Discord trying to weasel their way around syntax, as you described, Hayden. And what could happen as a fallout effect is a lot of people stop using Discord, and it's unfortunate because I know I've been using Discord for the latter part of a decade now, and all of us use it for the most part, right?
It's a good communication site.
It is.
Yeah,
I've tried to get off Discord 5 times with different platforms that were just broken and shitty. And the thing is, there was one that came up that was actually good called Gilded. And then Roblox bought them, and you had to have a Roblox account to be able to use Gilded.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the old days of Ventrilo and TeamSpeak, man.
Ventrilo and TeamSpeak. Bro, have you seen the TeamSpeak guy posted on Twitter every once in a while? He's like, yeah, I mean, if you give me $1 billion, I'll build out the same thing, but like, I don't have any fucking money, man.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a good opportunity for someone who had, sorry, Weasel, but this could be a good opportunity for other applications to, I don't know, pop up a business and just obviously promote that they won't be like Discord, and that they'll try to do things the quote unquote correct way, and give I don't just not fall into the traps that Discord does. But again, who knows if that'll actually happen? I mean, I said this in a different chat where I wonder, depending on the actual evidence that's found and corroborated, what could happen to Discord as a company. Does the Kirk family, do they sue Discord into the ground, and do they have to file for bankruptcy? I mean, there's a lot of ways this could potentially go for them. But I think too, depending on how many people use it, will they stop using it? Will they stop, buying the nitro boosts and shit like that? Where it's like, we're not going to fund you anymore. Yeah, we might still use your platform, but we're not going to give you any money because of you trying to hide evidence here to an assassination.
Yeah, I think the thing with that is, again, you have to look at what their words were, because they may have been being completely truthful in the fact that he didn't plan anything on Discord. Now, it's very shitty for them to try to come out and just like use that term and like skirt by it.
Yeah.
But also, I think most people are actually going to look at Discord and be like, oh, we use it. Like the GCA, we have our huge Discord, and we nitro boost our Discord so that we have all the extra channels and stuff that we need. And because we've got everything broken down, like it's very hard to step away from saying, yeah, I'm giving you money because, well, I don't know if he planned it on there, but you were weaselly. And like, me personally, I won't buy any more nitro from Discord, but that doesn't mean
they'll
I'm
never
stop
get money
using
from me.
it.
And plus all the different tendrils coming out of Discord. Every person that was in that chat has a Reddit account guaranteed, and a Blue Sky account guaranteed, and their friends, their 5 degrees of separation that they're all talking to. Everything needs to be investigated in this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think this is the thing that I like or I enjoy using or it's useful to me. It would be awfully painful to walk away from. That's already the steps that you're starting to see with the boy.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
righteously
absolutely.
mad, but I don't know if I'm going to inconvenience myself that much.
Absolutely.
Right?
And that's what
always
I'm
the thing
saying.
you run into.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm saying is like, people will think that, but that's where it goes to is it turns into, oh, well, this one thing, just because they did something kind of scummy, maybe it wasn't that bad. And you find that spot where you make an excuse and you continue to use that service. But
right. And that's the it's why I always laughed about, people would be like, oh, I went on Twitter and I hashtagged the thing or whatever. And it was like, and that meant exactly nothing. Other than it gave you a little dopamine boost because look, I feel like I did something because I expressed an emotion, but you didn't. Right. And so when you have to make hard decisions about, you know what, I'm just not going to give my business to X anymore, right? Or this business over here, whatever. Do it. Actually, eat the inconvenience, right? I mean,
if you can't take inconveniences, then for crying out loud,
right? Because what are your moral principles for? If it's inconvenient, yeah, that's kind of the point of the moral principles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So people have to be willing to make sacrifices to make change for this stuff because these companies just have to be held accountable. Amazon, Walmart, they've been selling stuff, and hopefully they take down the anti-Charlie Kirk merch that's just heinous crap.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to show this one last post, and then we're going to wrap it up here before we go to Nick's stream. Matt Walsh has been saying there's been a lot of discussion about who will, quote, replace Charlie Kirk. And the answer is nobody will. There won't be a new Charlie any more than there was a new Rush Limbaugh. These men are irreplaceable, one of a kind. All we can do is continue the fight in our own way, which we will, but there will never be another Charlie Kirk. I think that's very true. We may have people who rise up through the ranks, next generation. That's always, you get new people at the reins and stuff, but there will never be another Charlie Kirk.
Maybe it'll inspire somebody to take it even further. We can only hope.
Exactly right. That's what Charlie would have wanted too.
So in J.D. Vance's hosting of the Charlie Kirk show today, I believe it was when he was talking with Caroline Leavitt, they talked about, not only was Charlie a really good person who genuinely cared about people, but they also said that there will never be anybody that can step into the ring like Charlie could, have all the facts, be going at the enemy with the word of God, be able to cite it, have all of these things. And then that he was also the greatest political mover of politics that has ever existed, because Charlie Kirk was connected to literally everyone. Caroline Leavitt, our White House spokesperson, actually got involved in loving politics and the connection with politics and media because of Turning Point USA.
Absolutely.
She's known Charlie Kirk for years.
He mobilized countless of young people, and his effect on this country and world is just, we'll never fully comprehend all the contributions he's made, ever.
The way that he went about it, though, was Bill Maher even said this on his show. He said that the way that Charlie Kirk would speak to you, it would be a debate, but you could tell that even if he was talking to you and going against you, he saw you as a person.
Yes.
And after talking with him for just a little bit of time, all of the people who talked to him, even that disagreed with him, liked him as a person. Now, maybe not some of the crazy college kids that just showed up to yell and scream, but
of course,
most everybody who actually had a one-on-one with him, they loved him after they
There was a
spoke.
lot of people that said, I expected, this mean MAGA right-wing bigot guy, and they're like,
yeah,
he was actually really nice to me. And even though we disagreed, they're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of clips coming out, and there's a lot of people who disagreed with him who are mourning his death.
Yep.
And that's because of the quality of his character,
I would
So
say
I'm-
that
He knew what it was to want the best for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me say one more thing,
exemplified
and then I've got to bounce.
Yep, we do have just a minute left. Yep.
Everybody has said that, JD Vance told the story that his wife heard from Charlie Kirk's wife that he never raised his voice to her. He never raised his voice to the kids.
Mhm.
He always tried to be the best husband and father that he could be. And I think that's something that all of us can strive to do to carry on Charlie's message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the whenever we hope for, I hope this one person solves the problems for us, or the world needs to change, and if we just vote the right person into office, it'll happen. That's wrong.
Correct.
The way you change the world is one person at a time,
Yep.
which means you can do it.
Yes.
Right.
It
Talk
starts
to the
with you.
people around you. Right. You may not be able to affect things at a national level, but you can damn sure touch people at a local level. So do that. How does Charlie Kirk get replaced? By thousands or millions of individuals.
We can all be Charlie Kirks in our own way, in our own life, in our own interactions with people. We might not be the guy at the college campus with hundreds of or thousands of people ready to talk to us, but talk to your neighbor, talk to the person at the cash register, whatever, talk to the mailman, whoever you run into, and be a Charlie Kirk in your own life. But we do have to leave it there. We're on the final minute here. We're going to do outros, and then we're going to bounce over to Nick's stream. So, Nick, I know I've got to let you go. We're going to see you in a minute. Tell people where they can find you. We got your links.
Yeah, you can find me over here at
doing?
the Plot Truck's back. We got Masculine Mondays, where we talk about the importance of masculinity in cinema, which is an important topic where we need strong men, and we can look and find them in movies as well. It's too bad we don't see them a lot in current or recent movies, but that's why we go back and look at older movies and highlight the importance of them. So every Monday night, 9 p.m. So we're talking about The Bourne Identity with that Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I'll see you guys there. Corn Boy,
Absolutely.
Hayden, good to see you guys. Lex, nice to meet you, and good to see you. And yeah, we'll
Thank you for joining us. We
see
appreciate
you
it.
over
We'll
there.
see you over
Of
in your
course.
stream.
Glad I
in a
could make
minute.
it. Yeah, glad I could make it.
Absolutely.
Guys. Cool.
Great
Right.
to have you, man. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having
Later,
me,
brother.
Peace.
Absolutely. And Goodwin, I know you'll be joining us over there. I'll be with you guys on Nick's stream here in a minute.
Indeed.
Where are you going to be at? We have your links in the description as well. Thank you for joining us too, by the way.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be with Nick for Masculine Mondays, and then he will torture me on Tuesdays while as we watch Alien Earth, the most idiotic of the Alien franchises, and that's saying something. There's been some really dumb movies in that franchise, but this TV series is beyond the pale. Wednesday I'll be on Zax's stream where we're looking at different years between 1980 and 2000 and trying to pick which years had the best movies. So we have a versus. And
I have a feeling you guys might get stuck on 84 a little bit. I
was in 84. There's been a few times where I've had to hit the millennials because they don't understand.
84 was the best year in cinematic history. I am 100% convinced of it.
82 is a banger as well.
It is. The 80s were great, but I think 84, if you go through the list and you look at like the 100 and something movies that came out that year, most of them are just fucking
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're picking the top 3 in like 7 genres, and then we go head to head with a different year. But 82 is hard to beat because you have The Thing, Conan the Barbarian, Blade Runner, Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah,
it goes right.
And Hayden, we got to get you over to Off the Hip. So tell people where they can find you. You're going to be on ABF's channel. What you up to?
ABF's channel. If you guys aren't going over to hang out with all of these guys over on Nick's channel, we'll be on ABF's channel. We're about to go live, and then ABF again on Wednesday, and then the GCA later that afternoon.
Very good. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you as always.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, brother. Y'all have a good night.
Absolutely. You too. And Lex, where are you going to be? What you going to be? Where are you going to be causing trouble?
Well, hopefully, here in a week. And
yes.
Other than
if you
that,
can join us, you're more than welcome. Absolutely. Hopefully, we'll be seeing more of you.
It is what a privilege to be here. I love talking to people who are prioritizing reason and faith. So happy to be here. And if you want to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Twitter. My name is the same thing there.
We have Lex's links in chat and description. And Corn Boy, we have your links in the chat and description as well, to not just your Twitter, but your gaming channel where you're streaming a lot.
Yep. Catch me playing Mario Kart against Geeks and Gamers whenever they go live. And anytime we have a other thing going on in the GCA that we want to stream, such as Repo or any other game,
Yes.
I'll go live on that. And you can find me on Twitter. I'll post the link when I'm going to live. So follow me on X and YouTube. Thanks.
Absolutely, guys. Go do that. Make sure you subscribe to Cornboy. Might see me on there. We got to get back on Repo. And, of course, guys, check me out on X. We're always live on Kick, too. And we'll be back same time, same place. I'm going to drop the link in the chat now. I'm going to be on Nick's stream over on the Plot Strikes Back. I have the right link this time. So go watch Masculine Mondays, and we'll be reviewing The Bourne Identity and talking about masculinity in cinema. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We do have to head out.